Hey, everybody. Hi. I am Michael Christopher Koji Fox, the localization director on Final Fantasy XVI, and welcome to our panel today, The Voices of Valisthea. Is that my name? Yes. Okay, so 2 things before we start. 1, there are going to be a load of spoilers in here. So anyone that has not played the game yet and doesn't want to be spoiled, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to leave the room. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Elwyn dies, Joshua dies, then Benedikta dies, Joshua comes back to life, Barnabas dies, Benedikta dies. Did I say Joshua dies? John then comes back to life, and okay. I warned you. I warned you. Okay. Number 2, as you all know, Final Fantasy XVI is rated M for mature, which means there's a lot of spicy language in the game, which means there may be a lot of spicy language in this panel. So, if words like fuck, shit make you uncomfortable, and you don't want to hear words like fuck, shit during the panel, you may want to put on some earmuffs, or if you're watching the stream, turn the volume down, because we'll probably be saying fuck and shit a lot. Fuck shit. Okay, so now without further ado, let us bring in our amazing voice talent. Are you guys gonna come on? No, you're not gonna come on. There they are. Oh. Hello. Hello. All right. Let us begin. So, because there may be some of you out there who don't know.
That was my chair. That was my. You've all heard that, right? That was my chair. That was not me. That was not me.
It made a fart noise.
This is what I have to deal with. Like all of voice recording. Just
shit, fuck.
All right. So.
Shit, fuck.
For those of you who don't know, these guys, let's get you to give us a little bit of a self-introduction. Tell us who you play in the game, who you are, and maybe a little something that no one, or maybe few people know about you.
Okay, I've been thinking about this quite hard. My name is Ben Starr. I play Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy XVI.
Sexy Clive. Oh, no, not yet, not yet.
Who was that?
A thing you might not know about me, and if you do know this about me, that's strange that you do. When I was a kid, I used to, when I went to the toilet, I would pretend to present a television show. And so every time I went to the toilet, I would present a television show that I made up. It was a chat show, so there you go, take that home, and if you knew that already, why?
All right, let's move on.
I'm Jonathan Case. I play...
Oh, wait. Oh. No. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, that's me. That's me.
I'm not... Oh,
yeah, that guy.
I know you're anxious.
Yeah, okay. Hi, I'm Stuart Clark. I voice Dion Lesage. The Crown Prince of the Holy Empire of Sembrek, and also the Dominant of Bahamut. Yeah. Okay, something about me. I was lucky enough last night to meet Gerard the Completionist, which was fantastic. He did a fantastic one-man show down at the Crocodile, which we were lucky enough to see. Where is he? Is he there? Yes, Gerard!
Oh,
and it was so lovely to meet Gerard. But basically, I just had massive beard envy the whole time. And it made me go, I want a beard, but I've never had the opportunity to have one in my life. So something about me, from now, I'm making that promise. I would love to see myself with a beard. That's great.
We would love to see you with a beard as well.
If it was possible, that would be great, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Oh, that's me. Hello. My name is Nina Indis. I play Benedikta Harmon, Dominant of Garuda in Final Fantasy XVI. And I was really struggling with this question, like something that no one knows about me. And just right before we came up, I was like, okay, I need to figure something out. And this is what I found out. I can do a frog neck. I don't know if anyone's going to see it in the back, but I'll demonstrate.
I've got a camera on you right now. Zoom in on the neck.
Oh, yeah, there's the camera. Okay.
What the? Whoa!
That's a weird one. You can, take that home. You're welcome.
What do we do now?
All right. And finally, last but not least, for the first time in an official event, we have...
Jonathan Case, I play Joshua Rosfield.
Yes. This art is the first time we revealed this art. So anyone watching on the stream, I'll allow you 5 seconds to furiously screen cap. Go, 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 go. All right, enough.
Oh, my fun fact. I am the proud owner of a pet axolotl. Her name is Mrs. Salad, and she misses me. If you're watching the stream, Mrs. Salad, I hope you're okay.
That's okay. That's wonderful.
She enjoys
Yeah.
watching things.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to introduce yourselves. It appears everyone is excited to see you. But I'd like to thank you for coming today. We actually have a special gift for the four of you from the development team. And so, this is totally not just for free advertising for official Final Fantasy XVI merchandise available on the Square Enix webpage. But we have this, the Clive Rosfield ear cuff.
Ooh.
I present this to you, Clive Rosfield.
So much.
Can you please put this on?
Yeah, I'll put it on for you.
Thank you. Let's see. We have this for Joshua. We also have the Rosfield ear cuff, but it's the pendant. So for those of you who are not into ear cuffs, we also have the pendant version. We give this to you. All right. And for, of course, Benedikta, we have the Wings of Promise, the pendant that Sid gave.
Wings of
to-
Promise.
yes.
The
Yeah,
promise
put that
he
on.
never kept.
All right.
Okay, just sorry.
And for Dion, we have
Yes?
we have another Wings of Promise, and everything that kind of implies story-wise. If Sid also gave.
So wait.
So yeah,
So canonically, Dion also has a Wings of Promise?
he does now.
Okay.
I mean, there was that
Wow.
time that Sid snuck into
How about that?
Sanbreque, and maybe
a game
it-
of hide and seek in Sanbreque, eh? Interesting.
Okay.
Thank you.
So while you guys are putting this on, I want to talk a little bit about what the panel is about today. So first off, we're going to talk a little bit with the voice actors about their experience on Final Fantasy XVI, maybe some of the stuff that they did during the auditions. Next, we've gathered some questions from the Q&A, and so we'll be answering those. And then finally, we have some very special announcements that you will definitely want to stick around for. Definitely. Okay. All right. So now that everybody is sporting the merch, again, available for purchase exclusively on the Square Enix website. Not that that's important or anything. We would like to begin. So let's go into the first question. Now that the game has been out for 2 months, tell us how you feel your character has resonated with you and the fans. Bonus points for any fun fan reactions that you can recall. And let's, we'd normally start with Ben because this is the first time that Jonathan Case has been with us. And so the day is yours. Let's start with you.
I mean, this whole thing has been amazing. Like, I knew a long time ago that I would be sort of spoiler-shrouded for the release of the game, at least. So, I mean, I love Joshua so much. He's compassionate, full of contradictions, kind, an amazing brother, I think. Have you had better?
Yeah. I've had better. Brother.
Okay. Also the fans, like, you guys are fucking amazing. But what I was so impressed by was the standard of spoiler keeping I had people like DMing me being like, I would have tweeted this, but I didn't because of, so I just seriously hats off to you for doing the bit. It's a pleasure to finally not have to be hidden away, yeah.
Right. All right, yeah, what about you, Stuart? I mean, this is also your first time
Well,
on stage with us.
yeah, it's been, what happened, has it been 2 months, 3 months?
About 2 months since the game's launched, yeah.
3 months. It's just been the greatest pleasure to play Dion Lesage and to then have that character go out into the world and for people to see it. I mean, he's so cool. He's so cool. He's noble, brave, honorable. He's the dominant of Bahamut. But aside from that, he is also canonically queer and very, very unapologetic about that fact. And so many of the interactions that I've had with people speak to Dion, speaking to them, and the relationships that he has in the game, speaking to them, and the fact that he is there and unapologetic about his presence has spoken to so many people. So I love that. And the fact that I am a small part of that, of more people seeing themselves, is just, I don't know, it's a great source of pride. So it's been so wonderful. So thank you for sharing with me. And aside from that, though, the greatest thing has been just so much chat about backstory. Like the amount of people who just want to know what the remembrance ceremony was. Have you had that? Have you had people wonder?
Yes.
Yeah. Koji, what is the remembrance ceremony?
Yeah. So it's this ceremony about
there was a clown,
remembering
there was a clown,
things.
right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Balloon
we will get to that maybe at a future date. Maybe, supposedly. Talk a little bit about that. Not today, though. Not today, though. Nina.
Yeah, I mean, I second Jonathan and Stuart. It's been overwhelming. The response has been amazing. I mean, a lot of my cutscenes were published pre-launch, so I had a lot of DMs and people messaging me before the launch, being super excited about exploring Benedikta's journey. And so I was really curious to see how people would respond, because she's more of a villain type, and you never know what the response will be for these characters. And I've had some really amazing messages where people tweet me and they're like, Nina, I'm really sorry. I really like you, but I think Benedikta, she's a handful. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like her. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Just let me know what you think. And then by the end of her arc, they finished her arc, and they're like, oh my God, I really feel for her. I feel sorry for her. Like, I want to know more. And it's been so nice that people resonate with her, even though she can come across a bit cold and stuff. But there's, don't judge a book by its cover. There's always a reason why someone becomes the way that they are, and I feel like people are seeing that in Benedikta, and it's been great.
Thank you. All right, last and certainly not least, Ben.
So, when we started on this journey, I thought that everyone was going to like Clive for his tenderness, his emotional rawness, his ability to access the deepest, darkest recesses of his emotion. And I really tried to push that in a lot of the early marketing. We really spoke about, how much I really want, his personality to resonate. But let's all be honest, everyone. If we are being brutal, the two things
Technically, yes, the two things
that have resonated with people are his chest. Never have I seen the like. And it's not just his chest. It's his waist. It's his arse. Because it's quite well documented that I do watch people stream the game, and believe me, I have watched you all. I have watched you all pause the game. I have watched you screen grab pictures of his crotch to your thousands and thousands of viewers. You are shameless and I love you all.
That's your answer.
That's my answer, Koji.
Okay. That's going to make it really hard for me to segue, because I'd like to talk a little bit about, for me, this experience and working with all these great voice actors. I'd like to talk a little bit about having the opportunity to work with the late, great Stephen Critchlow, who some of you may know as Edmund de Fortemps in Final Fantasy XIV, but definitely know as Uncle Byron in Final Fantasy XVI. But as you may or may not have heard, Stephen tragically passed away during the recording of Final Fantasy XVI. And at that time, I remember thinking, you know, not simply how we're going to replace this very irreplaceable voice actor, but I was really sad for the fact that we had all of these great performances that no one was ever going to get to hear. And I thought that, I mean, that was just, it was a waste, because he had put his everything out in the studio, and we had these great scenes, and no one was going to get to hear him, because we would have to recast. I remember you got the opportunity, because we did some ensemble recording where we had 2 people in the booth, and I think, the Madhu scene,
Yep.
that was you and Stephen in the booth together.
Stephen and I were together for the great chemistry that Clive and Byron have was born out of these sessions that we had together. And I remember being in the booth with him, and he was infectious. His energy was unlike anything I had seen. And every time I'd come out of a session just feeling completely rejuvenated. And he is an amazing man and has Byron energy, and was truly, truly wonderful. And so when we found this out, it was incredibly tragic. But I also remember, because the Final Fantasy XIV community is so passionate, right. I remember that you all held vigils outside of his house. And I remember kind of recording some of them and sending them to the team, being, please can you pass them on to Stephen's family, because it just shows how much the Final Fantasy community cares, and how much he is truly loved. And his performance lives on in Final Fantasy XVI.
Yes, because we wanted to preserve that. And we didn't want to just, throw it in the bin and recast someone new. So we tried to think of some way that we could preserve that voice. And, we had conversations with his family. And we kind of came up with this idea that we were going to try to find a voice double for him. And that if we were able to find one, it would have to match his voice perfectly. It would have to kind of honor that performance. And if we didn't find one, we were going to totally recast. But we were able to find one in the great Ewan Bailey. And he had this voice that was almost exactly like Stephen's. And it kind of blew us away, because when we heard the audition, we're like, whoa, this is it. But it turns out that Ewan Bailey was actually a longtime friend of Stephen, had worked with him for decades. They were best friends. And so Ewan knew all of Stephen's mannerisms and his quirks, and so was able to kind of draw on those same things that Stephen drew on to recreate Uncle Byron in his voice. And so we were able to bring those together and kind of blend them seamlessly. And so that's why they're both credited in the game, because both of their voices live on. There is some of Stephen there, and there's some of Ewan in there as well. And so, Stephen's probably watching us from up there. You kick ass, man, and your legacy is going to live on in Final Fantasy XVI. All right. Let us move now to the next question. I think, do we have the next question up? I'm pressing the button, and no new questions are coming up. There we go. So, I would like to ask you a little bit about next, the audition process. Did you recall any special moments or memorable moments from your audition process in the game? I know it was a long time ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. So, to help you remember, I have brought some clips of your actual auditions from 5 years ago. Let's roll them.
And so the North is lost. It is only a matter of time before the twins are no more. The world marches ever towards its end, and here we chase shadows. Tell me, brother, is our endeavor in vain?
You will find a girl there. I owe her my life, and I always pay my debts. You are to see that she is provided for. I would not ask this of another. You know that, don't you?
Please! I don't care if it's a dream. Just give me another chance. I can protect you. I am a defender of Rhoderia, and I will do my duty.
You've not aged well, Cyrus. I like my men with a bit more stamina.
A bit more stamina.
Yeah, I mean, no, I prefer little lambs, to be honest. Yeah. I've been dreading this, okay? So I've been asked the question about how was the audition process before in interviews. And I've just gone like bragging. I've been like, yeah, it was amazing. I walked in and I got an applause after I finished the audition. Literally, I have said I got an applause after I finished the audition.
You did say that.
I did.
So could everyone right now put your hands together for Nina's incredible performance?
Wow, I mean, manifestation really works.
Yeah,
I've just been living my dream. I think because watching this back, I don't feel like that is an applause-worthy audition. I'm jumping, that's terrible technique.
And the thing is, you were jumping in all of them. That's like only 5 seconds of about a 20-minute audition. Every single one, you're like, yeah.
Which is awful because as a voice actor, you know you're not supposed to jump because the microphone will pick that up. So yeah, I'm to be fair, really surprised I got the part. You guys must have thought, what is she doing? Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Can we just talk about Stuart's beard?
Yeah.
It was a different time. It was a different time. I was in Fiddler on the Roof, 2019, and I grew a massive, massive beard, yes. But looking back now, I had totally forgotten. I had totally forgotten that this is how I auditioned for Dion. With a full man bun and massive beard. I'm also like, everyone got a cool room. Where was my cool room? Where was my black room?
Yeah.
I remember one thing from the audition process was when the brief came through, it said that, I can't remember if this was on the audition or if it was coded or what, but it was like dominant of, if it didn't say Bahamut, it said like dragon creature or something.
I think it wasn't dominant. We called them
Demonites.
Demonites.
Right,
yes.
right. And I just remember like obsessing over like, what's my dragon voice going to be? Will he sound like this? Or like this? You know, and I just spent ages being like, well, they're going to want something different. They're going to want something different when he's in dragon form. And I did it. I did a line. I was like, you will not defeat me, or something. And they were like, so Stuart, we're actually just going to use your voice for the, and then they might put a little filter on it, but you don't need to do a dragon. And I was like, really? Are you sure? But hey, it worked. It all worked out.
It was my first video game audition I'd ever done. I was like, okay, I'll go. And, you know, reading the lines on the Excel spreadsheet in front of you, like squinting, being like, who are the twins? I guess I'll talk about them. But I didn't actually audition for Joshua initially. I was called in for a character called Clint. And I didn't get it.
Did you not?
No, I didn't get it.
Who got it?
You did.
I did.
My agent was like, they've actually given you an offer for a much smaller role. And I was like, okay. It wasn't. It was amazing.
How young do you look? You look so baby.
Yeah.
How young do we all look?
Yeah.
Like this.
It's like something stressful happened between now and then.
Yeah, this has really taken its toll on us.
Also, if people are watching this on stream or at home, you won't have noticed this, but when my audition came up, the first thing people did in the room was laugh. Like, honestly, if you're watching at home, I was like, oh, I'm giving such a fantastic performance. People were laughing at the way that I looked. Guys, I was acting so hard. But like these are for some of us, like this is the first time we'd ever read some of these lines because we weren't auditioning for a lot of these parts. So we're coming in and we're just given it and we just went, let's just go for it. But you can see, like, yeah, the code names are different, but the writing's so emotional that you just kind of knew what to do with it. And also, I want to give a shout out to Morgan Rushton and Hannah Price, who were in the room at the time, who like just the work that the entire team have done over this whole process has been incredible. And obviously, Koji, we wouldn't be here without you. So thank you for that. But yeah, it's such a blast from the past watching that back.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you. Okay, now that we have these 2 questions done, we have some questions that we've gathered from the social media formerly known as Twitterverse. And, but rather than have me present those questions, we actually, we're going to leave that duty to some other memorable voices from Valisthea. So let's roll the first question.
Hello, Seattle. It's Christopher York here. I play Gav in Final Fantasy XVI. You may know me from such lines as, this place reeks like a morble's ear-hole, and care to tell me what the F your dog just did? And many other lines with many other profanities. This question comes from Aiken Rami, and it's for everyone on the panel. I connect well with characters if I associate lyrics and songs to them. Do you guys have any songs, lyrics you associate with your characters? So, is it a little bit of Dion in the sun? A little bit of Joshua all night long. A little bit of Benedikta, here I am. A little bit of Clive makes me your man. Ha!
Well, he didn't get the memo that he was able to say, you know, marbles, asshole.
Yeah, he really didn't want to swear, did
He didn't want to swear.
I'll
I mean,
for him.
my favorite...
Fuck.
No, but like, my favorite line from Gab is, fuck me!
Fuck me! Yeah. There's a lot of swearing in this game, but I think it's tastefully done.
It's tastefully done,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, it's not every character either, because, you know, we do have some characters that do not swear at all, because it's not their character. Jill doesn't swear. Dion the Bold.
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I mean, you're too noble. Would you?
Too noble.
But could you swear for us now, though?
In Dion's voice.
Greetings and salutations, you fucks. Oh, it felt wrong.
Well,
It felt
I
wrong.
don't. Why am I
No.
not offended? I'm just not offended.
It was naughty.
Okay, let's answer the question. So we have well-connected, you connect well with the characters, you associate lyrics or songs to the characters. So you do that with your own characters.
Yeah, mine, I've got 2. One is a song called Godspeed by Frank Ocean and James Blake. The James Blake version is the one that I would listen to often when I had to get into kind of like an emotional scene. And if you haven't listened to it, please do. It's just a beautiful piece of music with very meaningful lyrics. But the more important one is every time we would finish a side quest or a quest in general, it would often be Clive saying, all right, or something like that, or thank you. And nothing kind of adds a great full stop to that, like the Golden Girls theme. So, so Sam Papworth, our audio engineer, and Fred Proud would often just, every time he'd be like, thank you, Karen. And then it would play, thank you for being a friend. So that, please, feel free to mod that in when you have the time.
Yeah, and I love this question. I do this with quite a lot of acting jobs. I feel like it's just always so potent to connect music with emotion. Obviously, you know. But I was thinking, I was listening to a lot of the Phoebe Bridgers album that came out in 2020. So I was listening to that on my commutes into London to do the recordings. But I was thinking about the lyrics question, and there's the new Boy Genius album has just come out. There's a song called Not Strong Enough.
Okay.
And there's a lyric that repeats, which is always an angel, never a god. And I was thinking about this in bed last night, and I was like, that's so Joshua, like being, you know, I mean, flying around. But also like kind of being, you know, not subservient, but he's he's got such empathy, such capability for empathy, and he doesn't take the center stage very often. And he was a child who had greatness thrust upon him at a young age where he was much too young, I think. And I felt that little lyric was quite poignant, powerful. Great song as well. The whole album.
A way better answer than the Golden Girls theme, I think. Thank you.
Well, we're not comparing.
Still canon though, Cody. Still canon.
Still canon. Stuart?
Well, I actually asked whether I could play a video that was tagged in yesterday for this. I can't do it, but I retweeted just before I started this panel. There was an animation by Unleveled Nate, which was to Jump for My Love by the Pointer Sisters. And it's a full animation of like Dion and Terence and... do you know what? Just go watch it. Just go watch it.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
I can't hype it up enough. It made my week. So we can't do that. So
we just did that.
Instead, okay, I want you all to picture we're in the tent, the war tent, with Dion and Terence, and Dion is just thinking. He's thinking about the past. He's thinking about Oriflamme. He's looking at his arm, and he's so many things to tell him. How to make him see the truth about my past? Impossible. He'd turn away from me. And Terence, he's holding back, he's hiding. But what I can't decide, why won't he be the prince I know he is, the prince I see inside? And then the dragoons are, and can you feel the love tonight? You didn't look too far. And that helped a lot. That helped a lot with my characterization.
And of course, during that scene, Dion was in shorts, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And they rode up. They rode up horribly. Yeah.
Oh my God, wow. I'm not going to go up and sing the songs that I would warm up my voice with before recording Benedikta. That was amazing. Well done. So good. So I would always drive into the recording sessions, and because I live in like a block of flats, my neighbors hate me when I try to warm up my voice. Like being an actor, voiceover artist, having neighbors in a block of flats is not a good idea. So the only place that I could really warm up was in my car. And so I'd like blast. These are not fitting songs for Benedikta, but this is what I would sing before the recording sessions, like Christina Aguilera and like Sia, and I just belt out these songs, which I'm not going to attempt to do right now, because no one wants to hear that. But if I was to choose some music that I feel like captures Benedikta's essence, I feel like I would have to go like Nordic heavy metal.
Yeah.
And there's this amazing Norwegian heavy metal band called Dimmu Borgir, which... Dimmu Borgir! Yeah, they are amazing. And so if you listen to Puritania by Dimmu Borgir, I feel like that really captures like Benedikta's inner turmoil. So check it out. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move on to our next question. I wonder who it's going to be this time.
Hi guys, I'm Susanna Fielding and I play Jill in Final Fantasy XVI. So sorry I can't be there today with you guys. I hope you're having an amazing time. I am thrilled to be part of this game and I love playing Jill. So thank you all for the amazing response. It's been quite overwhelming how much people love the game and how much people are connecting with both Jill, Clive and all the characters in the game. I have loved playing Jill from the very beginning, when I didn't even know that it was Final Fantasy XVI. I just knew that I was in a video game with two characters called Jill and Clive, and myself and Benedikta were just playing these characters together. And 5 years later, here we are, the game is ready, and it's been unveiled to everyone, so it's super exciting. I have a brilliant question that I'm going to answer for you guys. This question comes from Bastian and it's for everyone on the panel. Hi everyone, love the game. The voice acting and story was superb. Can some of you share where you drew out some of these emotions and were they tied to personal stories? Great question. I suppose for me there's always has to be truth in the performance. So even if it's a even if it's like a difficult scene, which is really emotional, like you have to find your version of that comes from a real place. And so I might think back to things that have happened in my life that can influence that and try to tap into a real feeling rather than just acting something. And I think that the players can feel that the acting is coming from a real place. And it's more like a movie really than a computer game. So I'm really, really proud of the acting, and I'm glad that it's kind of hitting people in the way that we'd hoped. So I hope that answers your question. Have a great time, everyone, and take care. Bye.
Aw. Okay, so Jill, Susanna has asked you about what are some of these, how do you draw out emotions when you're acting your characters in-game?
It was actually really difficult for me because you're drawing on real emotions, you're trying to make it truthful, and I actually quite like carrots, so yeah, that was tough.
that was the toughest thing.
No, I mean, look, like I find the sibling relationship is I think it's quite unusual, especially to have two brothers who are so. I mean, able to show each other how important they are to each other, And I think sibling relationships in real life are incredibly poignant, and I wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't difficult, but like, I love my siblings, and like, to draw from that and the sort of how powerful that bond you have with your siblings is, yeah, I thought about that a lot when I was recording the game, and that really helped.
I mean, let's get serious. I've kind of not made any mystery of like my relationship with all of the emotional stuff that Clive goes through and what happened to me in my life during this process. Those who don't know, my father passed away through the recording of this game. I last spoke to him when I was recording this game on the way to recording it, and there is so much of him in this performance, and I have tried to speak about him as much as possible, because I think grief is something so particular to each person who goes through it. And I want people to feel like they should be able to speak about this sort of thing, because it is just so fucking hard. And everyone on this production was so incredibly kind to me during that, because we were deep in it. We had to get stuff done. We had to keep moving. And I just said, I'm sorry, I've got to go away and write my dad's eulogy, and I've got to bury my dad, and I've got to do all this stuff. And everyone was like, fine, we'll down tools. And I remember I had to give the eulogy at my dad's funeral. And then 3 days later, I had to come in and record a scene where I would be at Elwyn's grave.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was very, very hard, because you're talking about a man who is the most amazing man that you've ever met and means so much to you. But what I will say is, through every step of the way, I was supported, I was loved, I was held, I was told that it is okay to not be okay. And what's been so beautiful about this is how raw Clive's emotions are. Like, it is ugly, it is unfiltered, it is disgusting. It is like the worst part of ourselves laid bare. And that's how I felt. When I found out that my dad had died, sorry to get serious, but I kind of want to talk about it. I made the most remarkable noise. I don't know if anyone's done this, but I just screamed. And that grief is a very strange thing to kind of deal with. But it is something that I feel comes across in Clive, and it comes across in the way that he feels for Joshua. It comes across in the way that he feels for everyone, Sid, his own father, loss in general. And the fact that this game platforms a character who shows that in the rawest way is important, and it isn't held inside. So thank you to everyone who's reached out, but thank you for writing it. Thank you for everyone who supported me. And that's what I want to say about it. So thank you.
I mean, wow, that's so beautiful, and also so brave of you to feel like you can channel those emotions in front of people, in front of colleagues that you work with. it's not easy, and what you've done is incredible, and it really shines through in the game. Like, you've done an incredible job, so like, thank you for doing that. Yeah. I think being an actor is amazing because you have a safe space to have an outlet for your emotions and what you're going through. It's almost, I've kind of been talking about this before, but especially if you're doing emotional, difficult scenes, you have a safe space to actually do that, and it's quite therapeutic. It's really therapeutic. If anything, it's much better to get that out than to hold it in. So I absolutely love doing that. I feel like with Benedikta, especially, like, she has some very emotional, high impact scenes, which for me were truly, really therapeutic. There's sometimes, especially if you're playing characters from fantasy worlds, it can be quite difficult sometimes to really know how to relate to the character. You know, Benedikta can summon Garuda powers. Like, I wish that I could summon Garuda powers, but I can't. It's not something that I can sort of relate to, really. So for me, very often it also works to just use my imagination and imagine, like, what would it be like if I was in this character's shoes? How would I feel? Yeah, so it's a mix of drawing upon real emotions from what has happened to you in your life, and also just using your imagination and trying to, imagine what does it feel like to summon Garuda powers? Like, I want to know. Yeah.
Totally agree. Totally agree. It's definitely like a mix, isn't it, between using. Well, I think in any role you play, it's always a version of yourself. I think however transformative the actor, however much prosthetic they wear, there is always a big core of yourself that then you bleed into the rest of the character. But also there is the imagine section. But I think for Dion, the bit that really spoke to me was the relationship with his father. And I'm not saying that my relationship with my father is the same as that, but I have had relationships with people who have changed whilst I've known them, and relationships with people who, it was one thing and then things have happened, time has gone by and it's become something else. And it's that real difficulty of acknowledging the relationship you had and the feelings that you had, and also knowing when maybe it's time to move on from that, or to speak out against it, even to voice those feelings. And I think that turmoil that Dion has with the trying to uphold the honor and the duty, but also recognizing that something has gone horribly wrong and not wanting to speak out of turn was something that I found really fascinating to investigate. I mean, there's a line he says, which is when Joshua was saying, "Do you think it's Ultima?" And Dion says, "No, for better or for worse, my father speaks his own mind." And I think that spoke to me, because I'm like, gosh, that's it, isn't it? It's wishing that you could explain something so complex away with magic, but it's not that easy. It's not that easy. People do change, sometimes not for the better, and you have to deal with those consequences.
That was a great answer. Thank you. All right, I think we have one more question from the community, and so let's roll the third question.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte McBurney and I'm the voice of young Jill. I'm so sorry not to be with you guys in person, but I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed those early scenes with Jill, as well as, of course, the incredible work that Susanna Fielding does as Jill in the rest of the game. I have a question for the panel. This question comes from @TacoRoyalty. The question is, if you could voice any character other than your character, who would it be? I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your time at PAX West, and sending you loads of love. Bye!
Yeah, we ran out of money, so we couldn't get her answer, but we're going to get that from these guys. So, if you could voice any other character than yours, who would it be? We'll start with maybe Jonathan?
It's hard. I mean, honestly, probably Dion. He's so complicated and just full of dark and light, and you know, he's twisted, he's attractive, he's scary, he's kind. He remembers me from the remembrance ceremony.
So hard. So much remembering.
So much remembering.
Wouldn't want to get your fingers burnt.
I think he's a wonderful character, and it would be a pleasure to play him. Yeah.
And you?
I'd love to have a crack at Nectar.
Well, we're gonna need to hear your Kupos.
No,
then.
I'm fluent Moogle tongue, yeah. What have I done?
Would you like to stand?
Could you sing it for us?
Which obviously you totally understood, right, Ben? And it translated roughly
No
to...
one's said that swear word yet, and I don't think we should say it.
No.
Nectar, don't be so fucking rude.
What about you, Nina?
My choice would be Clive. That was my impression of Clive. Sorry, Ben.
Everyone did an impression of Clive. I would come in and I would hear like temp track of every single actor who's done a version of Clive. And it'd always be, hi, I'm Clive.
You know, he's got a very sexy, husky voice.
Thank you, it's just my natural voice.
Yeah.
This is put on for people. I normally talk like this the whole time. So my character would be, there is a character in a side quest called Please Purchase on the Square Enix store. Get them now, they're going fast. I wanted to voice this character. I remember coming in and doing the side quest and thinking, why am I playing Clive? Why am I not playing this character? And his name is Yakin, and he is in Boklad, and he gives you a mission where you go and you do like the history of the area. And it is voiced by an actor called Peter Policarpou, and his character sounds like this. Oh no, look at me. My name is Yakin, and I want to go on a journey with you. Ooh. And I remember doing the quest thinking, why the fuck am I Clive? Yakin is the best. And he'd be like, oh, I'm in some scrapes, never mind, let's go. And I was like, Peter Policarpou gives what I think is a Game Awards winning performance. So please, this year...
And
Jeff,
the BAFTA goes
yeah,
to...
the BAFTA goes to... Jeff, if you're considering anyone, it's Peter Policarpou's Yakin. It's just a stunner. But, yes, go on.
Okay. So now that we've talked about those roles who'd like to play, it turns out many of you actually auditioned for different roles than the ones you ended up with. Ben, we talked about how you actually came in for Tiamat.
Yes.
And then got the role of Clive. Well, we have your audition, so let's take a look.
No.
You all know the target. The demonite Shireen, and only the demonite. We do not question orders, we follow them. Try to keep that in mind. Do you think our fate will be any different from Brent's if we return without Shireen's head? I'll take my chances with the Iron Blood. At least then I might die fighting. After you do, that is. What the hell are you doing? Wake up! Look around you! Take ahead and help us with these bastards!
Ooh.
I should have got that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get that as well.
What a farce this game is.
But no, seriously, I mean, we saw that and we thought, yeah, maybe not for Tiamat, but this guy is kind of good. Maybe we should bring him in for something else. And that kind of, we literally gave you a different Excel sheet and...
I remember, so our colleague and friend Morgan Rushton talking about this, and he was saying how it was like the intensity of that, but then it was kind of a cross between that and then me in between the takes. So he went, oh, maybe Ben can, read for those. And it was that moment when, it was the silence and then go and read for Clive, and then you saw what happened with Clive.
Okay, so while we're on the subject of what ifs, we also have Stuart. You auditioned for Sir Tyler.
I don't know, no.
Roll the video.
No, not
Show
Tyler.
us the beard. Show us the beard.
Not beard man. No, he's there again. I
It
can't
must be
look away.
gratifying to see your student making such a name for himself. The young lord has a bright future ahead of him. I never thought I'd see it. Goblins in Roderia. We should get moving. We don't want to be caught out here after dark. If we set off now, we can still reach Phoenix Gate before nightfall.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
Your Highness, I did all I could. But their numbers were too great. Their forces have taken the capital.
God, there we go. There we go.
It's an astonishingly good beard. It's an amazing beard.
Contagious. Actually, if you touched it, you got one. Yeah.
Is an amazing beard. And now we have the most mind-bending of all, Jonathan as young Clive. Roll the video.
When I joined the ranks, everyone thought I was a spoiled little lordling. If I didn't know how to handle a sword, I'd be a laughingstock, the Archduke's firstborn failure. You're the one they really believe in. I'm jealous.
Aww.
It's weird that they didn't give it to me because I did it exactly the same as you did it.
Yeah. Actually, you did it better than I did it. I was like, yeah, why am I Clive? Why are you not Clive? It's amazing how young you look, but I think, listen, we've all been ridiculed here. We look like the idiots, ha 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 ha. But there's one person who's sitting next to me who has yet to be ridiculed. Now, if you're deep in the Final Fantasy XVI lore, you'll recognize that there is a boatman called Obolus. And yes, the performance of Obolus is outstanding. But imagine what it might have been like beforehand when it was voiced by a different actor. An actor who has a little bit of experience, but wants maybe a little bit more exposure. Who has dreams of treading the boards and thinks they might try their hand at some video games first.
Yeah.
Koji, you voiced Obolus. In particular, one line.
One line?
Yeah, and it was in the game for a while.
Yeah.
And then it got cut.
Yeah.
And revoiced.
And revoiced.
Would you like to see that right now?
Absolutely not.
Roll the videotape.
All right, it's over, lovebirds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
how long did that take you to do?
You know, I mean, as long as it takes you guys to do a line. I mean, how long does it take you to do, like, a line?
Probably about a minute.
One time I said one word for about 15 minutes.
Okay, right.
It was like...
How long
anyway,
did it take?
moving on.
It took about 40 minutes.
Could you do it for us now again?
Ride's over, lovebirds.
Oh, he's gone Aussie.
Ride's over, lovebirds.
What are you buying?
Stranger.
Call that a knife?
Koji, I thought that was phenomenal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nina. All right, that's enough of that. A big thank you to everyone who submitted their questions. So now we only have about 6.5 minutes left, so we kind of have to power through this next portion. We have some announcements, very special announcements. So hold on to your, what does this say? Hold on to your Torgles. Okay, so first up, boom, we have the special announcement for Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line. Tracks from Final Fantasy XVI will be available for download on November 1st, 2023. For those who don't know, Theater Rhythm is a cute Final Fantasy-themed rhythm game available on the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch. A demo with 30 songs is available to play for free. It's available now. Originally, we announced that we were going to be putting in 8 songs from Final Fantasy XVI, but supposedly the dev team couldn't decide, so they decided to add 11 songs for the same low price. And what is that low price? $5.99 US and or euros. And the songs are also included on the Season Pass 3. So if you already have that, then you're going to get those songs. And we have these wonderful songs. My Star, Hide, Hideaway, Sail, Forbidden Seas, Away, Control, Titan Lost, Ascension, The Riddle, Logos, Find the Flame, No Risk, No Reward. Could be yours. Call now. The thing is, though, My Star, I mean, how are you going to play that without crying and, like, it's... Okay.
That is a really good impression of Susanna Fielding.
Okay. And so we hope you enjoy the collaboration when it comes out, so please look forward to it. Next up, for our second announcement, we have a very special video message from a very special someone who couldn't be with us today because he's checking Final Fantasy XIV things. So hold on to your butts, play the video.
皆さんこんにちは。ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田です。16の発売から約2ヶ月ちょっと経ちまして、世界中さまざまなプレイヤーの皆さんからたくさんのフィードバックいただいております。そしてゲームプレイの配信等々もですね、世界中本当にいろんなところで行っていただいて、皆さんのリアクション、僕ももちろん開発チームのみんなもしっかりさせていただいております。本当にたくさんのリアクションいただいて、我々、力を入れて作ってきたので、本当に嬉しく楽しくさせていただいています。そこでですね、それに関してちょっとお礼というのもおこがましいことではあるんですが、本日、ファイナルファンタジー16無料のアップデートを行わせていただこうと思っています。このアップデートの内容は主に大きく2つあります。1つ目はクライブ、主人公クライブの武器、それのスキンチェンジという機能を追加させていただきます。スキンチェンジとは何かと申しますと、クライブが装備している武器の性能はそのままに、その見た目だけを任意の他の武器の見た目に切り替えることが可能になるという機能です。そしてもう一つ、コスチュームチェンジというのは、主人公クライブだけではなくジル、そしてトルガル、アンブロシア、さらにジョシュアのコスチュームというのを一つ追加させていただきますので、こちら任意でデフォルト装備と切り替えて楽しんでいただけることが可能となります。この無料のアップデートですが、この公演以降ですね、順次世界中でダウンロード可能となりますので、そちらのアップデートを適用していただければ、すぐに使用することが可能となっております。このクライブの武器のスキンチェンジ機能と、それから各キャラクターのコスチュームチェンジという機能を使ってですね、さらにバリスゼアの世界を隅々まで楽しんでいただけると大変嬉しく思っております。そしてまた、新規でゲームをプレイする皆さんのためにですね、さまざまに寄せられたフィードバックの中からさらに操作モードを追加したりとか、細かいアップデートも同時に今回行わせていただくつもりですので、ぜひぜひまだ未体験だという方はですね、これからプレイステーション5を手に入れたら、どんどんファイナルファンタジー16プレイしていただけると嬉しいです。改めまして本作ファイナルファンタジー16プレイしていただいたコミュニティの皆さんからのですね、たくさんのフィードバック、感想等々、拝見しております。その中でも特にこの世界の物語、それから各キャラクターの活躍をもっと見たいというふうに言っていただいていることもあってですね、現在開発チームでは、こちらはちょっと有料にはなりますが、2種類の DLC の開発をスタートさせております。そして改めてですね、今回プレイステーション5専用で、リリースさせていただいておりますが、 PC 版というのを望むお声も非常に多くいただいておりますので、改めましてここで正式に PC 版の、発売に向けて開発に取り組んでいるということも合わせて発表させていただければと思います。いずれの DLC も PC 版に関しても、年内にはまた改めて次の続報をお出しできるんじゃないかなと思っておりますので、ぜひ両方とも、引き続き楽しみに、お待ちいただけると嬉しいです。以上、ファイナルファンタジー16プロデューサーの吉田でした。本日はですね、コウジとそれから素晴らしいキャストの皆さんとのパネル、お楽しみいただいて本当にありがとうございます。これからもますますファイナルファンタジー16盛り上げるためにいろんな活動をやっていこうと思いますので、どうぞこれからもよろしくお願いします。それでは。
So yeah, not only a free update available in like 4 hours, but finally we're getting that paid DLC. Do you want to talk a little bit about the DLC? Yeah, no, we're not going to talk about the DLC. So we can talk about the DLC, the available update tonight. So let's give you a little bit of recap of what's going in that. Got it? The button. I'm pressing the button. I'm pressing the button. Okay, there we go. So first off, we're going to get new outfits for Jill, Clive, Torgal, Ambrosia, and Joshua. There'll also be a weapon skin feature, so you can change the skin of your weapon to any weapon that you have in your inventory. If you like to use Invictus all the way up to Ultima, you can. And then finally, we have some additional improvements to lots of different parts of the game. All this information is going to be up on the website, so you can check it out later. But again, rather than just talk about this here, we actually have a short video showing you this stuff. So let's play it. Out now. It says it's out now. The game is out now. The demo is going to be out in about 4 hours, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Yay!
Yay!
All right. So that brings us, I think, to the end of our panel. Does that bring us to the end of our panel?
It does.
It does. We hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Get to learn about all of these wonderful voices of Valisthea and the passion that you brought to the project.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming and being so supportive of all of us. I think that it's not often that we, as English voice actors, get to talk with a Japanese company, essentially, and be so forward in that. And I want to thank everyone for being so supportive and of all of us. It's been an amazing ride.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
My wounds boy. So thank you to everyone, all the fans out there, all the people who continue to support this game, all the people who've reached out to us as a group of actors, as a dev team. You're all amazing, and thank you, Koji, for this. You are an amazing human being. You are so professional and lovely, and thank you for being amazing. So.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so please look forward to the DLC releasing tonight at 8 p.m. And as well as more announcements that we have in the near future. So let's give our voices of Valisthea one big last round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you, and have a great rest of the PAX.